R2, dog. I ain't even been feeling like doing this, but let's get it. Yeah, it's probably really glad we're up. BIP Red Dot 1.
The O is for the 16 ounces that's in a whole pound. They really out here feeling my music. Shout out the whole town. K is for the killers I know who keep the 4 pound. You give an inch, he taking them out like it was fourth down. The L is for the ladies for sure. I mean the real ones who out here working hard for the.
What's up, world? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy R2. And man, we back with another banger. You know what I'm saying? So grab your popcorn and your cold drink and go on over there and hit that like button. And then hit that subscribe button. And after you do that, hit that bell. So when I drop these bangers, you be one of the first ones to put your eyes on it. You know what I'm talking about? What's good? What's happening with y'all, man? What's up with it? It's your boy, man. We back. We got a crazy story for y'all today. We're gonna run that in just a second. But first and foremost, I want to thank the supporters, man. Everybody who taps in, everybody who likes the videos, everybody who, you know what I mean, comments, everybody who, you know, throw their comments out there, the constructive criticism. I love it, man. I appreciate y'all. Um, Y'all the reason I do this. Y'all the fuel to this fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, but don't forget about that bag. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely can't forget about that bag. You understand? Because we definitely always trying to get that. And we on this 90-day content run. I don't even know what day we on, gang, to keep it 100. This has just become a normal to me. You know what I'm saying? They say it takes 21 days to either make or break a habit, and I'm pretty sure we either close to 21 days or we right at 21 days. So we should be somewhere in that range. But man, we getting these episodes out of there and we making it happen. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Man, today's story is crazy. Man, a coach, man, out of Birmingham, Alabama, Demetrius Beverly, he was 39 years old, man. He was fatally killed in Alabama, man. You know what I'm saying? But he was doing the devil's work. You understand? He was in the bed with another man's woman. You know what I'm saying? Another man's wife. You feel me? The young brother, DeCorlean Robinson. He 23. You know what I mean? He came home. You know what I mean, to his girl. You know, fucking another dude. Bottom line, period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And what he did about it, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I absolutely fully 100% agree with, but you know, I definitely 100% understand. You know what I'm saying? He took it into his own hands, and he killed the dude, man. And it's an unfortunate situation. First and foremost, I want to send condolences to Coach Demetrius Beverly, man. Coach Meat, that was his nickname, Coach Meat. I want to send condolences out to his family, condolences out to all of his peoples, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't think nobody deserves to lose their life. You know what I'm saying? Especially not over no pussy. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I know the internet is trying to paint the picture like the two young people were married, but I don't think they was married. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they was married, but I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you never want to, as a man, you never want to, you know, get caught in another man's crib. You know what I mean? Messing with his girl. You feel me? Now, you know, and furthermore, anybody's wife. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, taking in another man's wife and having sex with another man's wife. That's like one of the cardinal rules, sins. You know, you're not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, the young man did what he had to do. I think he was charged with the murder and with having a machine gun type of, you know, modification on his weapon, which was probably a switch. Nowadays, these youngsters is running around with switch. Everybody got switches. You know what I'm saying? So he was charged with that, and they calling it a crime a crime of passion. You know what I mean? You got to understand, man. I mean, that's pretty clear cut to me. If I come home and my wife is getting busy with another man and I dust him off, you know, he in my house. You know what I mean? He trespassing. He ain't supposed to be here. I pay bills here. You know what I'm saying? And this my wife. You know what I'm saying? She out of line. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip. You understand? So Like I said, it's just a tragic situation. I got some clips for us to check out, man. We're going to dive into it, check into it. We're going to give our perspective. We're going to look it in, you know what I mean, as we always do, you know what I'm saying? And we just going to, push through the content, man. So, without further ado, man, let's check out this first clip.
Smith, father of 8, 2 grandchildren, husband of 24 years.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
His wife, India Smith, is overcome with emotion. India was in Georgia when she got the news. Miami-Dade police say someone shot Smith to death at an apartment complex in Opelika Monday morning.
Humble guy, very humble.
Smith was the quarterback coach at Miami Norland Senior High School. His wife says coaching young men was his passion.
He doesn't have the opportunity to coach his final son that wants to play football.
Smith's family says he was romantically involved with someone else and he possibly lost his life after a jealousy situation turned violent. His wife says everyone makes mistakes.
He's not a bad person. He is not a troublemaker.
Smith says what the family wants is justice.
Turn yourself in. He didn't deserve this.
And one thing I want to point out, he was married. The coach was married. So he was all the way out of line. You know what I mean? For one, you stepping out on your wife. For two, you taking in another man's woman, you know what I'm saying, having sex with her, and you cheating on your wife, and you at his house doing it. You just don't do that. That's just, you know what I mean? You don't go to another man's house. If you're gonna mess with her, that's your prerogative, you know what I'm saying? But you don't go to that man's house where he pay bills at, where he lay his head at. That's like the ultimate form of disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Like if you find out a chick you dating and you messing with her and you find out she got a dude and she been having you come over to his crib in they bed where they share together, you know what I'm saying? That's a low down dirty bitch, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. Because how can you invite me over here, you know what I'm saying, knowing that you play house with this dude or y'all in a full-blown relationship, you know what I'm saying, and he live here and he pay bills here and he provide for this residence, you know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna blow me as a husband, you know what I'm saying? If I come home and my wife was, in the bed with another dude at my crib where I pay bills, you know what I'm saying? This my shit, and you gonna disrespect me like that? I'm balls to the wall. You feel me? Straight like that. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the young man and his situation. I definitely understand. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I totally agree with it? I would have to say, man, part of me do agree with it because, as a husband, you know what I'm saying? If I'm a husband and I come home and my wife is in the bed with another dude, it's going down. I'm paying bills up in here. I'm taking care of this crib. This is where I, lay my head at, and I'm responsible for what go on in here. You know what I mean? As far as financial wise, yeah, it's going down, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I 100% feel that, you know what I mean? But with them not being actually married, you know what I'm saying? I think maybe they could have just been shacking up or whatever, but still the broad is 100% out of line. She out of line, you know what I'm saying? And young people, you got to be careful out here, man. You don't just accept any invitation over to a woman's crib. You got to learn how to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? If it's male shoes in there and all of that, male clothes and all of that, and look like a male lived there, hey man, be very cautious of that situation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you don't hang out with her, but you feel me? You got to definitely be careful because, a man catching another man in his situation, you know what I mean, where he pay bills, the crib he take care of, that's like the ultimate disrespect, and you got to expect nothing less than, trigger play. You got to expect nothing less than that because you all the way out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, man, I'm pretty sure Coach knew that she had a dude, you know what I'm saying, and he just didn't care, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, man, these young dudes, as you can see, they playing with them switches, bro. They not playing, you know what I'm saying? So you got to definitely be mindful of your situation and your surroundings out here in this crazy world that we live in, man. You know what I'm saying? And this happened in Birmingham, Alabama. Shouts out to Birmingham, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Alabama as a state. Shouts out to Alabama, man. I rock with Alabama. Gucci Mane originally from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I believe he from Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Honeycomb Brazy, another artist that I like, man. He from Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Alabama. Shouts out to Honeycomb Brazy, Free Brazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, youngsters, pay attention, man. You know, you don't want to get caught in another man's situation, bro. You know what I mean? I don't care how fine she is. I don't care how good the, you know what I mean, the what's he is, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know what I mean? Don't let her put you in a bind. Don't let her put you in a situation, you know what I mean, that could jeopardize your freedom. You feel me? Because even though they calling this a crime of passion, a heated crime of passion, you know, he's still facing time for the illegal switch. You know what I mean? Them switches, they cool, you know, they look cool, they do cool, you know, that rapid fire, that seems cool, but if you get caught with it, that's another different type of charge, you know what I'm saying? So you definitely don't want to get caught with those. You definitely don't want to be just out here loosely, you know, having those around, because in this situation, if he didn't have that switch on his weapon and this crime of passion happened, he wouldn't be facing, you know, extra time. He would just be facing the murder charge, which his defense is a crime of passion, which I feel like, you know, he's going to have every right to exercise, you know, what he done. I feel like it's going to be justified in court because the man was at his house. You know, the man was in his, you know, domain. So, you know, and he's messing with his girl or his wife or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know what the common law is in that state. You know what I mean? Alabama, but if you live together in Oklahoma and you got clothes there, she got clothes there, that's considered common law marriage, you know what I'm saying? So the police and the authorities, they're going to look at it as a marriage, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We will follow up with that though, you know what I'm saying, with that detail. And I'm pretty sure we'll know when we see if he gets convicted of the murder or if he gets exonerated, you know, due to the crime of passion, you know what I'm saying? And as far as I know right now, that's what they're ruling it as, a crime of passion, you know what I'm saying? Unless something changes, you understand? But it's kind of pretty clear cut, you know what I'm saying, if you ask me, you know, but you never know, and anything could happen, you understand? So, and also anything could come out further, you know what I mean? But for him to have a wife, a family, twin girls, you know what I'm saying, a whole setup, he didn't have no business messing with that 21-year-old girl, man. She was 21 years old, he was 39, so, you know, the big age difference, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of, you know, messing with, you know, younger girls. I'm not a fan of that, you know what I'm saying? Definitely not. So, and I don't support it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you should date around your age, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But I also understand if she 21, 22, 23, she grown, man, you know what I'm saying? So she was definitely grown. She was definitely of age to make her own decisions, and she chose to, you know, have a side relationship with this coach. And her dude came home and he did what he did, and now coach is gone, and the young man is potentially about to go do some time, and she'll be on to the next swinging dick. You dig what I'm saying? So, young man, you really got to get your head on straight. You know what I'm saying? He's out on bond, and he got to fight his case. You know what I mean? So, you know, everybody's due to their day in court. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we just gonna hope the best for him, for his situation, you know what I'm saying? But I got another clip for y'all. Let's check it out.
Yes, thanks. The man accused of killing Demetris Beverly in Birmingham last week had his bond set this morning. That shooting happened in the Oxmoor neighborhood at Lakeshore Ridge Apartments. DeCorleon Robinson is charged with murder and unlawful possession of a machine gun conversion device. His total bond set at $165,000 tonight. That includes $150,000 for the murder charge and then an extra $15,000 for the weapons charge. Before the Anias Law hearing, Beverly's family told the court they supported Robinson receiving bond. He's due back in court next month for a preliminary hearing.
So there you heard it. You know, he out on bond. He got the murder charge. They calling it a crime of passion, but that's something that they're going to have to work out in the courtroom, I assume. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him being convicted of the murder, being that the situation is what it is. But one thing could hurt him is when I got another clip where he went live after he got out, you know, so saying certain things on live, you know, youngsters, man, keep your business private, stay off of live, talking about actual, actual things that have happened. And if you catch a case, you haven't been convicted yet. So you haven't been found not guilty yet. So anything you say leading up to that court date and you putting it on the internet, it can be used against you, man. You know what I'm saying? And you especially don't want to make it seem like you don't have any remorse for the situation. You don't want to make it seem like you did it because, you don't want to seem like you premeditated it. You know what I mean? And you'll get why I say that whenever we run the clip. You don't want to make it seem like you premeditated it or that you seen it coming or you had prior thoughts about it. You just want to kind of keep quiet. And, it's just an unfortunate situation that happened. You really didn't want to do it, but, just the crime, the immediate situation and the anger and the crime of passion, you want to stick to that script. You don't want to get out here acting like you just caught your hat and you just, you don't want to be out here promoting violence or doing any of that bragging or boasting or doing any of that goofy activity. You know what I'm saying? Especially with an open murder case. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll keep followed up with it. Let's check out this next clip, man.
Trying to keep none of these. I can't take that hurt no more. God is good for real, man. God, on a serious note, God is good, bro. On God, I knew it, though. I can't even count like I ain't know it. On mine, I can't even count. I ain't want to believe it, though. You know how it be, bro. Don't know nigga want to believe they be fucking off on them. Trust me. It's going on, bitch. It's happening. On God. Don't ever think this can't happen to you, bitch. I don't give a fuck who you is, bitch. We all fuck off. We all fuck off. I ain't some shit you just don't do. I'm ready tonight. Who first? Who first? Who first?
So as you can see, he got out on bond. And the youngsters, man, when you going through a situation, court situation, any of that, if you get into any kind of situation, why when y'all get out, the first thing you do is go live, bruh? Stop doing that. Young people, stop doing that. They are using that stuff against us young brothers, us young black brothers in court, man. They are using this internet against us, man. They're using that stuff against us, man. All of this technology stuff, it can be resourceful. It can be life-changing if you use it in the right way. But do not take this social media stuff and turn it into an interrogation room, man. I'm not saying this what this young brother is doing, but I'm just saying, you could have went without all of that. You know what I'm saying? Stop feeling like you need to explain every situation to the whole world. Everybody's trying to go viral. I get it. Everybody wants a little bit of fame. I get it. Everybody likes attention. You understand? And these youngsters, man, it's like, with this situation, him having to do that to that guy, I think that's making him feel untouchable. Now he feel like he got one under his belt. You know what I mean? He feel like, he can't lose right now because he feel like he was in the right in the situation. And to a certain extent, he was. But, one thing that could hurt him is if they wasn't really married and their relationship wasn't, to the dynamic, of a marriage. You understand? And can the police prove that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what the girl's telling the police. I'm not sure what kind of statement she's gave to the police. But her being in the wrong in the situation, I don't see what she could say, to kind of make it look any better on her part. And her being silent, her not coming out and saying anything. I haven't seen anything about her saying anything. I haven't seen any clips about her or her speaking out about the situation. I think that's good in her, in her defense, because the best thing you can do in this situation is just say nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's clear what was going on. It's obvious that she was in the wrong. It's obvious that she basically got Coach Beverly killed. You know what I mean? Because she chose to, engage in sexual activity in the house that she shares with this other young man. You know what I mean? When this guy already has a wife and a family, you know what I mean? Just imagine how she feels. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine how embarrassed she is because her husband got killed, cheating basically. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine how embarrassing that is, you know what I mean? And hurtful at the same time. She lost her husband. Her kids lost their dad. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just a messy situation. And let that be a lesson to the youngsters, man. Get your own situation. You know what I mean? It's somebody out there for everybody. Get your own situation. If that woman already got a situation going on, do not involve yourself with that woman. I don't care how cute she is. I don't care how much she want to mess with you and she's with it. Because if she willing to, you know, take you on while she playing house over here and got a whole nother, you know, deal going on, you know, she's diabolical, man. She don't care about nothing. That mean if something happened between, you know, you and her current, you dig, she, once you get locked up for whatever you did to this cat, she gonna be on to the next swinging, you know, the next swinging pipe, man. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no loyalty to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And at 21 years old, how much loyalty can you really expect from a 21-year-old? They don't even know what they want to do with their life. They don't even know themselves well enough to give you that kind of commitment. You understand? So it's like, man, you really gotta live life, man, when you're young. Live life, youngsters. Don't rush into these relationships. Don't rush into marriages. Live life, man. You know what I mean? Experience what it is to live first. You know, love yourself first before you try to go love somebody else, man. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. You know, enjoy yourself. Enjoy finding out about yourself. Because at 21 years old, 23 years old, they haven't even started to live life yet. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting started. It's just beginning. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of tricky, man. Just, you know, do your homework on people. Do your homework on people. And I'm not sure if she knew about his wife. I'm not sure. And at the age of 21, she probably didn't. You know what I mean? Because she thinking this coach, you know, he's an older, you know, typically younger women, they like older men. You know, I don't know what it is about young women that like older women. You know what I'm saying? The young girls, they gonna look at older women and they see the salt, pepper, beard. They see the, you know, the financial stability of an adult. They see that you can function as an adult and be able to have things that you want. You got a job, you got a good career. You know, you got everything going for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? The kids at the school, they look up to you as a coach. You understand? So why wouldn't she wanna, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man, it's like these and to the brothers of my age group, because he's around my age. I'm 36, he's 39. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 37 in about a month. So we around the same age, you know what I mean? So, and it's like, we got to have better self-control, man. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even been messing with that young girl, let alone if she got a boyfriend already or a husband already. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure she gonna tell you that she got a man. You know what I mean? But you ain't tripping because, you know, he a little dude to you. You know what I'm saying? You got you more established. You got the career, so he's not a threat to you. You a threat to him. You know what I'm saying? But where you messed up at was going to his residence where he lay his head at. You know, it's documented that he lived there. You know what I'm saying? So that's his crib too. Her and his crib. And if he was at work and came home and you was, you know, digging his girl out, then he feeling played already because, you know, if he got a job, obviously he paying something up in here. You know what I'm saying? He over here all the time. He got to be paying something here. You feel me? And like he said in the video, it's just certain stuff you don't do. And going to a woman's house when she got a man and laying up in their bed that they share together is one of those things. It's like the ultimate disrespect. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And sometimes I know how tricky it can be with these women. They'll lie and they'll act like they don't got no man. You know what I'm saying? But you got to learn how to pay attention. When you get up in the crib, go to the bathroom, look in the cabinet, look around, see what you can see. You know what I'm saying? If she got some size 13, sneakers in that bitch, you know for sure she got a man somewhere because you know damn well she ain't wearing no size 13. You know what I'm saying? Straight facts. You know what I mean? You got to watch these bras, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, I always said this. The easiest way to get to a dude, I don't care what you trying to do with him. The easiest way to infiltrate is a woman, man. Because it's like when women is involved, men all they guards go down instantly. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman is like, you know, the forbidden fruit. You know what I mean? It's like you got to have a piece. You understand? That's why, you know, when a big ass walk by, every man gonna look. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our nature. You know what I'm saying? Horn dog status. But you got to overcome that and learn how to self-control. and not always think with your dick, man. You know what I mean? Because it'll get you in a wreck. It'll get you in a bullshit situation, and this is what this is. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, a 39-year-old who's married, who got a whole established family, he ain't got no business dealing with no 21-year-olds, man. You know what I'm saying? When you teach these same kids at the school, when you the coach, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to be trying to help the kids, not fornicate with them. You know what I'm saying? So, and I got another clip we're gonna check out. Let's run that, man.
Been embarrassing his wife and kids. He been doing that. And when I saw the article, I was in shock because I hadn't seen Meat in probably about 10 years. But 10 years ago, so if Coach Meat is 39, this is how crazy it is. By 10 years ago, I was 19, 20 years old. Coach Meat was trying to hop down on me. He was real, like, heavy pushing up on me, you know, like. And Coach Meat, he was attractive. He was cute, you know what I'm saying? Football coach at the school I'm working at, but I'm working at this school. I'm just 19, 20 years old when I'm working at this particular school. And like I said, so this already a 9-10 year age gap. I'm fresh out of high school with my first job. Now, this man done got killed. Meat done got killed. Meat done got caught in somebody else's house at 39 years old, married with twin girls. I think he got twin girls because when me and him was talking some months after, I see a post on Facebook. Well, him and his, I guess is his wife now, they do it like a little prego photo shoot for the kids. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think he was serious because we never could really link. You know, I'm 19, 20, so I'm still really staying at home. I ain't got no place where really, it never really got to a point of anything because we never really had any privacy. So obviously, apparently, he probably was staying with his girlfriend then who wasn't his wife, or maybe she was his wife, I don't know. And for him to be caught in this girl house, this girl about 23, this is still such a age gap situation, which just goes to show you, that ain't Coach Meat. You've been thinking with your penis from the beginning, from day one. And what y'all need to do with the boys over there at Parker, with the football boys, because they're going to have to grieve Coach Meat, but y'all need to get somebody in there to talk about like self-control and lust. Because they apparently look up to Coach Meat. They just lost him. So if y'all got a coach that, like, y'all got somebody that's in y'all program that's overseeing y'all kids, and he disrespecting his family and his wife like that, that mean this probably just spewing inside the program. And I just hate it for the young boys because, you know, we are living in a time where people are promoting just being casual about everything. Coach Meat done embarrassed his kids. He done embarrassed his wife. But he been doing this. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. You know, like I said, it was a 10-year age gap between us and nothing even got serious with us. But the fact that he was pursuing me heavy and I was 19, 20. And he 39, just got caught in a 22, 23-year-old bed at her house. He ain't got no respect for nobody. He's only thinking with his penis. And that's the sad part. But, dang, I prayers for the family. And y'all need to get some counseling. Y'all need to get somebody in there to talk to y'all boys on that football team. Let them know you talking to somebody. You need to be able to respect that person enough not to be out here, you know, going both ways. Because I could guarantee you that spirit is already in that football program.
And she ain't lying, man. That's real. You know what I'm saying? It's like at a certain point in life, you got to cut out all the bull. You know what I'm saying? When you young and you out here living life trying to figure it out, and you know, you mess with this girl, mess with this girl, mess with this girl. That's understandable. That's what kids do. They still trying to figure out themselves, so they don't even really know what they want out of life. You understand? So making decisions like that is expected from a youngster. You understand? But for a 39-year-old, an adult, you know what I'm saying, a person who's out here, you know, adulting, you know, good career, a person who's actually responsible for other young lives, you know what I'm saying? He's a mentor, he's a coach, he's a listening ear to the kids, you know what I'm saying? He's responsible for the kids when they in his care. You understand? This is supposed to be a pillar of the community, a respectable gentleman who people trust with their kids. You understand what I'm saying? And when you living like that, you know, it's sad to say, but I can't trust you with my daughters. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust you with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows if you looking at them when they 17, you know, 18, about to graduate. Who knows? You feel me? And when I was young, growing up in school, man, we had a math teacher, man, named Mr. Grizzle. You know what I'm saying? And we always used to catch him looking at the same little, shorties we was looking at. You feel me? And he was a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? Grown ass man. And then later on in life, fast forward, he ended up, having some allegations at another school for doing just that. You dig what I'm saying? And I think he got some time for it. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, bro, I ain't got no, sympathy for people who, prey on young people. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Coach Demetrius Beverly was a predator, but man, you know what I mean? Hey, you know what I'm saying? If it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. You feel me? But a 21-year-old is of age. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, you playing with a slippery slope right there. You know what I'm saying? Especially with her having a dude and you being over their crib that they share together. You understand what I'm saying? But, condolences to the family. Rest in peace to the deceased. You know what I'm saying? Much love and respect to the family. Much love and respect to Alabama, Birmingham. Shout y'all out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And it's just youngsters, man. Just be mindful of what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? You know right from wrong, and messing with a married woman or a woman who got a man, that's not the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude could, potentially, turn around and try to hurt you for messing with her. You feel me? So yeah, just don't do it. It's just not worth it. Or you might have to hurt him. It's just not worth it. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for y'all today, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the supporters. Thank y'all for everybody who, shows up and shows out and shows love. I appreciate y'all. Y'all the reason I do this. Y'all the fuel to this fire. And don't forget about that bag. You understand? But until next time, it's your boy R2. Peace, love, one.